It goes down and immortalizes it, and it's always good to know you're a part of that. It's really, you're a part of everyone's memory and historic. When they show that still to this day, they will, because now the Taker's retired. They're going to show that match again because it's a great one.
Yeah, you know what? Like I'm getting goosebumps just talking to you guys about it because what you're saying is sinking in. But I still pinch myself, and I just, wow, man, that was me, man. I was a lucky SOB. I said, man, how did I get so lucky? I mean, to be a part of this. And, I still go like, wow, man, I worked a great match. And, I got a Slammy for it, by the way. I got Slammy for Match of the Year 2009.
Oh, that's always good.
But, yeah. And no matter what, if my career ends today or whatever, I can always look back and go, hey, man, I did something cool, especially with that match. And it's funny because, I talk about it, but I don't talk about it, if that makes sense. But then, when I'm doing interviews like this, it's like people love that match, and that match has become what it's become. And I'm so honored and humbled, that people know that it was me that was in there. Like I said, when I message you, a lot of people don't know it was me, but then when they find out, they start marking out, and they say, oh my God, how was it? Oh, you were with Taker and Sean at that time. And it's like, yeah, man, I was lucky. That's what it was. Yeah. I was lucky.
It's absolutely true. I'm sitting here, I'm just looking some things up. For WrestleMania, how is it to be refereeing at a WrestleMania, though, in general? Like, I saw you're also doing 23 and 24. What is it like to be in those buildings? Because we just had WrestleMania 33, and they had 75,000 whatever at the Citrus Bowl. You were at the last Citrus Bowl show, am I correct?
Yeah, actually, we did WrestleMania 24 at that same building they did 33. So, yeah, I know exactly what it was like. And for me, being at 3 WrestleManias, that's the goal. That's the goal. I mean, if guys and girls today who are working, whether it be Independence, Japan, or whatever, that's the goal. And that should be the goal, is to get to WrestleMania, to get to that show of shows, to get to our Super Bowl, so to speak. And for me, all the hard work and everything that I sacrificed, whether it be relationships with my family, my wife, or just everything in general, blood, sweat, and lucha in tears, working WrestleManias was what it was about. And that was my goal, to get to WrestleManias. My ultimate goal was to work a WrestleMania with Shawn Michaels, and I did that. So if I was to die today, I could say I did it. And there was nothing else for me to accomplish in this business, but I love the business, and I still do it, and I'm still with Lucha Underground. But to be at a WrestleMania, to work at a WrestleMania, it's something, that everybody should experience in their lifetime, because to me it's like winning the lotto. You succeeded, and you're at the top of your game.
Well, what's when it comes to WWE, what was like one of the crazier matches you had the referee? Was there kind of a gimmick match you can remember that people would be like, really, you were there for that, but it was just so weird and random?
Gimmick matches in general, or just a crazy match to be a part of?
Either or.
Oh man, the gimmick match that I did, I did a pudding match with Candice Michelle and Melina one time.
I remember that, weirdly enough.
Yeah, I did that, man, and it just ruined everything. It ruined my earpiece, ruined my just everything. I had chocolate pudding coming out of everywhere. As far as, matches were just crazy matches, God, there was just so many. I think one of the craziest things was when Hunter got hurt at New Year's Revolution.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Being there for that, that was intense.
That's true.
But, other than that, no, I don't think there was some crazy oddball matches that I was a part of, because everything that I did was pretty much straight up.
Well, that's a good thing at least you don't have to. Well, how about I'm actually trying to think of this. I'm like, how about Hell in a Cell? Because I've always wanted to know what it's like to be in there as a ref. Have you done those matches?
Oh, Hell in a Cell, and I've actually done Elimination Chamber.
Oh wow, that had to be crazy as well.
Yeah, Yeah, I did it No Way Out. It was 2007 in Las Vegas, Elimination Chamber. It was JBL, Sean, Hunter, Umaga, Jericho, Jeff Hardy, and I think that was it. You know, like, that was insane. That was insane to be in that Elimination Chamber. I mean, to be honest with you, those chambers do not have any type of give whatsoever. You know, like, once they're on the ring and around the ring, they got no give, man. So those things really hurt.
Wow. No, those are pretty crazy. I know. You're gonna say something like that?
Well, I know I think it was last year's Elimination Chamber where they redesigned the whole complex.
This past year, past year's.
Yeah, and it looked like that the chambers were different, and they had mats put on some of the steel grating.
Were you kind of jealous now that they actually redid it? They actually redid it now that you're no longer there.
No, not at all. You know, because I was there for the original chamber. You know, so you know that's cool. You know, I mean, guys nowadays get the new one. You know, where I got to work in the original ones. You know, so that's cool.
That's true. That's very, very true. So, okay, now I have to know when they actually approached you for Lucha Underground, for this craziness that is Lucha Underground, what were you thinking when they were trying to explain to you, we're going to bring Lucha to America, we're going to do this show, it's not going to be typical, we're going to do it by seasons, it's going to be completely different from what we're used to. What were you thinking going into this?
I actually didn't know what it was when I was approached. When Krista Joseph called me and asked me, you know, I was literally done with wrestling. You know, I was out on tour with the Mayhem Festival. I was doing merchandising for Rob Zombie, Five Finger Death Punch, and some other bands. You know, so I was actually done. I was doing things here and there independently, but it wasn't anything spectacular. It wasn't anything to write home to. But I was out on tour, and DJ had hit me up because he was actually working on the Fourth and Loud Kiss show on AMC, and he knows that I'm a huge Kiss mark, so he was telling me about it. And then he had mentioned, you know, that he was going to go interview for this new wrestling project. And he told me, he goes, I don't know what it is. I'm going to interview, but if I do get it, I'd like to have you on my crew. And I was like, oh, wrestling. Okay. Oh, all right. Wow. And I didn't give it any thought. I was out on tour. He called me and he goes, hey, man, I got the job. He's like, I can't tell you what it is. He goes, but I want you to be a part of it. And I went, okay, well, I'm out on tour, DJ. So then he called me about 2 days before I was ready to come home. And he goes, hey, man, I need you to come in and meet with these guys, man, because it's going to be something cool. I can't tell you what it is. So he had to kayfabe everything that Lucha Underground was until I was saying yes. So I finally said yes. And I went in and I met with the line producers and such and everything. And then they told me what it was, you know, that there was going to be aliens, there was going to be monsters, there was going to be dragons, there was going to be this whole Aztec lucha history thing and everything. And I was like, what the hell are you guys going to do? And it was, I was like, are you kidding me? And they were like, oh yeah, you know, it's going to be this, it's going to be El Rey Network, it's going to be shot like this. And I just went like, okay, yeah, sign me up. So I took a leap of faith because it was DJ, and DJ really believed in Lucha Underground. And seeing his passion for it and, you know, getting me excited for it, I went, yeah, sign me up, man. So I signed up, and I'm glad I did, and I'm glad I took that leap of faith and everything, because when they explained it to me, it was so different and so out there. And I went, this just might work.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Yeah, I actually talked to Krista Joseph back when they first launched, and that was my exact reaction. I'm like, wait, what? What are we doing? Like, this is actually going to work, and here we are. We're now on Netflix, and it's season 3, and it's becoming bigger and bigger. It's crazy how it's happened.
It's really
very crazy, very crazy. You know, I remember our first set of tapings, you know, we literally had to beg people to get there. And I actually went back and I watched that episode on Netflix about a week ago. There was nobody there. Wow. There was nobody there. I mean, if you look at our very first episode on Netflix, there was nobody there. And I turned to my wife and I said, there was nobody there. And she goes, yeah, I know. No, there was nobody there. And I said, it's so funny how things just turn so fast. I go, now you can't, you know, keep anybody, you know, I mean, you know, we're turning people away. And it's so cool to see that, everything filled up and, everybody packed in there. And, but going off of that first show, man, it was crazy. I remember we had to move people during certain shots because they wanted to make sure that they had some type of crowd in that shot. Wow. Yeah, it was crazy.
What's really weird is after we watched the first season of Lucha, it's like, I'm hooked. I can't wait for the second season. I'm hooked. I mean, and the thing that, to me, the difference between Lucha Underground and some other products is that the consistency of storylines, number one, and number two...
Especially that first season.
And how the character is associated with one thing or another, and it all makes sense in the end. And for us to try to explain it to other friends that do not get El Rey Network, they're kind of going... What are you, like a high? Are you drunk or something?
There was a running gag on our main show during that first season called Explain Lucha Underground to Sal. And it became a gag because every show we would sit here and try to explain Lucha Underground storylines. And he literally would look at us like, what is wrong with you two? What is wrong with you guys? But it was true. That's how it is.
Yeah, to sit in some of those production meetings and some of those creative meetings and going, well, what if we did this? Let's try that. And that's the thing that I love with Lucha Underground, because sitting in those meetings, everybody's thinking outside of the box. Everybody's thinking, well, what if nobody's done this, or let's try that, or, hey, can we get away with this? And that's what I think is so special about Lucha Underground, is that you have those opportunities and you have that ability to say, hey, this has never been done before. Nobody's ever seen this. What if we try it? And, of course, well, we got to go through legal. We got to make sure this. But when it gets the green light, I mean, and to see things come to, it's like, yeah, man, that's pretty cool, man. Yeah, that's going to be cool. People are going to love that. And there we go.
Yeah, I remember the constant debate whether or not Drago was an actual dragon. That was like a thing we did for like a month, just because we were having fun with it. It's good to have fun with wrestling. It's just good to have fun with it, and we don't do that very often anymore.
So, how much?
Yeah, and here's the thing: with Lucha Underground, that locker room and that crew. I mean, from the cable people to the camera guys to the caterers to post production to everybody there. I mean, everybody is having fun. Everybody has a good time. When we're taping there at the temple, everybody is always in a good mood. Everybody wants to see this succeed. Everybody thrives off of the crowd and who's going to show up and, what's going to happen. And, it's such a good crew and such a great vibe, that I'm so honored to be a part of it. And, it's so cool, to have that type of environment, because, negativity doesn't really spawn anything like that, but with the positivity and the things that we got going there with everybody. I mean, everybody just wants to do well.
I noticed that when the product comes off, it feels like it's a close-knit working family, and that's kudos to the people in charge, and not only to yourself but the talent there. Now, with that saying, how much of creative does the talent have on their character? Or is it something that's done through like Vampiro, Matt Striker, or is there other people that are involved?
Everybody has the opportunity to, have input, and that's a great thing with Lucha Underground. Like DJ has said this 1,000 times. He goes, "Look, man, me and Chris Roach can't write everything. So if there's any ideas, hey, I want to hear them." And if there's anything different, or if something doesn't feel right, and you say, hey, DJ, do you think I could try this? Or, what do you think of that? And we bounce stuff off of each other and go, hey, man, well, what do you think of this? Or what do you think of that? Or what if we tried this? So there's that constant, where it's like, okay, if somebody's not feeling it, nobody's going to be forced to go do this. I know there's been times storyline-wise where they say, no, we want to do this like this because we're going to go to here. Okay, so, it gets done. But for the most part, a lot of people there, talent-wise, do get to have some input on their character with ideas and things of that nature, because here's the thing. Creative can't create every single thing, so talent And I feel this talent knows their characters, or they should know their characters, and they should know where they want to go and what they want to be and how they want to get this character across.